So I've been trying to find, creative or maybe interesting ways to teach students how to code. And lately, I've come across knowledge dependency tree, which basically means for you to learn this concept, you also have to understand this other concept. Um, and I think the lack of that link is where the problem is. That is why a lot of people think tech and software engineering in general is difficult, but it's not. It's just that there's a gap, there's a gap between what you're currently learning in whatever track you are, um, you know, to another concept that you were supposed to learn before that. It's like data analysis. You see, if by the way, I'm planning to create a data analysis course, the same as this one. So if you're doing this course, good for you, because the data analysis part will be super easy for you to follow along. But let's just give an example here. So if you are to learn data analysis, there are other things you need to also understand. For example, you need to understand the concept of databases. You need to understand the you need to understand Python programming language. You need to understand the business side. We can say business logic, like why exactly are we analyzing data? What is the point? You also need to understand other tools like Power BI, if you've ever heard of Power BI, and so on and so forth. So if you are an absolute beginner and you get into a data analysis bootcamp, and you have zero knowledge of Python, you have zero knowledge of databases and Power BI and business logic, of course you can try. Of course, people excel at those courses, and some pass, but you'll struggle because there's a knowledge gap, a huge knowledge gap you'll miss. So I've been trying to do the same for this course, and I think so far what it also helps you know where we are and track your progress. So far we've looked at fundamental concepts such as programming basics when you are doing print, list, if statement, loops. All those are basics. Data structures and algorithms, we haven't really dived deeper into this, but we dived into algorithms when you are talking about big O notation, why this type of search will perform, why binary search will be faster than linear search. That is algorithms. We also have databases. We haven't looked at databases yet. We have networking, HTTP, APIs. We have Git and developer tools. So this is where we are right now. And then we have problem solving. So we've already covered problem solving as part of when you are talking about algorithms. So after we are done with the basics, we will now dive deeper into specialization. So if you're doing mobile development, we have front end and back end. So if you are in last week's office hours, we also looked at this, where we developed a front end and a back end for one website. We'll also look at mobile app development. We have Android and iOS. We have the concept of back-end engineering, which basically just falls under here. We also have the concept of DevOps. DevOps is just, after we've developed our software, how do we make it available to users? And we look at all this as we continue. And then we also have the data engineering part, some little bit of AI. Game development, you're not really going to do this. I can't write C++ code. That is what game developers do. However, we will briefly touch on it because this is this is like a full self-taught computer science. So we are not just focusing on mobile, web, and whatnot. So we'll talk a little bit on game development. Heck, we will also even touch on embedded systems, but that needs quite a lot of resources. So for embedded systems, we'll have to buy, there's a gadget called Raspberry Pi, which basically you can use to create your own alarm system in the house. You can use to create your own nanny cam, CCTV, whatever. You can even use it to, detect the amount of temperature so that you can send some signal somewhere. So yeah, I forgot to add that here. So now after we've looked at these general specifications, we can, I was trying to create a tree, so that is why you see leaves and branches here. So after we've done with that, we can now dig deeper, looking at the specific technology. So in web development, we have these technologies, we have this, we have that. If you're talking about mobile development, we have these technologies. If you're talking about backend, we have these technologies and whatnot and whatnot. It's also important to know that you cannot use all these tools in isolation. If I give you an example of Soma Stories, the entire technology picture of what happened. So we do have the Android app, which is on Play Store. So let me just write Play Store here. So we do have the Play Store app and also the iPhone version. So the iPhone version is not yet deployed. It's still under review. So these two, I'm using a tool called Flutter. And the programming language is Dart. Okay, it's called the Dart programming language. So that is what powers, and I'll show you an example of the code. This is what powers the mobile app. So if you've already downloaded Soma Stories, if you haven't, why haven't you downloaded Soma Stories? Okay, so it's not called Soma Stories on the Play Store. It's called Story, Story. So that is the code that powers Story. Now we also have the web interface, the website, for those who maybe prefer using the desktop version. So for the website, we can just say web. For the web, I'm using JavaScript. Okay. Where is Sam? Is Sam here? I'm using JavaScript for the web, and the framework I'm using is called Next.js. Okay, so these are the technologies that power the website. Now there's also the backend, which handles a bigger part of the heavy lifting. Like for example, when you unlock a story, the author of that story will get, if a story takes 2 Kenya shillings, if you unlock it, the author will get 1.6, and the platform will get 0.4. So it's like a 20/80 revenue share. So all that is handled in the backend, and I have 2 technologies I use in the backend. So if I can just draw this to signify the backend. So on the backend, I have I'm using Express.js, which is just a Node.js framework, which is JavaScript. That is why I don't like JavaScript. It's too complex. And then I'm also using Python in the backend, and the framework I'm using for Python is called Flask. Okay, so and then now when the backend communicates with the database, and my database is called Postgres. Okay, it's running on Postgres. So there are other things on the database that helps the database handle its task, and one of those things is called Redis, like so. So Redis, what Redis does is, it's like, for example, when you want to tie your shoe and you give your husband. Is everybody getting me clearly? I see my network has an issue. All right, that's strange. Oh, that's very weird. My network actually has an exclamation mark, so I figured it's not working okay. Let me just confirm that before I proceed. Oh, I'm audible. The travel agent, glad to see you. VW Safari. Jinub, you're here. Welcome. All right. So I just hope it's misbehaving or something. So Redis is also a database, sort of, but not like a real database. So what it does, it just handles what you call cache, if you ever heard of cache, but you look at all that, don't worry. So Redis helps database, and it also communicates with the backend. Python helps my main backend, which is Express.js, in some tasks that Express cannot handle. And then we have the Android app on Play Store, and then we have the website. So how do all these things look like on the on the client side? So if you do have the mobile app, so this is how the mobile app looks like. So you have the stories part. You also have the books part, where I have published a few notes from our classes. So this is the book. It's like a series, and then it has a few notes, including the notes for this class. And then the web version, we do have the web version here. So if I just type some stories, let me just log out. So this is the web version. The same things apply here. So we have the book section, we have this section. So the backend, of course, you cannot see the backend because, well, it's hidden. Now for the database, here I'm connected to my Postgres database right here. It takes a minute to load because it's a heavier software. All right, so this is my database. Now let me show you the code that powers both the platform. So we do have, let me open VS Code. I hope nobody has seen all those secrets, and if you try anything, I'll find you. I'm kidding. So this is the backend code. As you can see, it's all JavaScript, and if you look at it closely, you can see some of the things we've already learned, like if statements, variables right here, const follower ID. So here I'm sort of like trying to get the number of followers an author has, kind of, yeah. Quite a bunch of other things. Delete story, for example, if somebody wants to delete a story, this is the code that powers it. As you can see, I've even left a comment here, delete story. Report a story, if you want to report a story, if it goes against all reasonable rules, and so on and so forth. Now this is the code that powers the backend. Now the code that powers the mobile app, which is that, let me just open it for you to see. I'll open new window, and then I'll open the repository here, right here. So this is the code that powers the mobile app. So if you look at, for example, if we go into where is it, features folder, as you can see, we have the home page, landing page, the chapter reader, add story page. So this particularly view, and then you have the add story page. So let me show you what that means. So that means this. So if I go to the app and I click the create, it leads me to this page. So as you can see it, we have an option to choose whether single story or story title. And if you scroll through the code, or I can just search a story title. So I can see my story title box is here for single stories. Yeah, it's right here. So this is the code that powers the mobile app. How about the website? And the code that powers the website is right here. So let me just open this. And then it's right here. Yeah, these are so if I go to my so I have quite a few folders here. I have that, I have these, I have that, I have all these, like for example the story details. The story details page is right here. So this is the entire code that power. So when you're reading a story on the website on your computer, this is the code that powers all that. As you can see, it's quite messy, and it's 676 lines of code. Don't worry, I did not write all this. AI did. All I did was tell it where to put the code and also review the code word line by line, so as to make sure everything is working okay. Okay. So let's close this. So this is the other reason why AI cannot. We were supposed to look at our database. So let me just type my super secret password, and then I'll go to my servers. I'll go to Soma Stories production. Takes a second to load. And yeah, so this is how my database looks like. So as you can see, I have data about stories. So I can just click on this and say view data. And then I'll view all the stories I have, with their IDs, who wrote that story, and so on and so forth, right here. I can also look at my users, so I can come here and see my users. It's taking a second to load because so I can see the stories here, and I can see the users here. It's taking long to load. So if I want to check for a specific user, for example, I can come here and say I want all users where email is mosesmbadi@gmail.com. Let's see if we have this user. And it tells me this is the user. Okay. I can get other information from this data. I can see how many tokens they have and things, and so on and so forth. So why am I showing you all this? It's because you don't use only one concept to build an entire platform. Okay. So to build a mobile app, for example, you'll need to learn about caching. We'll get to that. You'll need to learn about security. There's quite a lot we'll need to learn about to develop a mobile app. Also, your mobile app will have to have a backend. It cannot just, like a mobile app. You need to have somewhere to store your database, to handle security. Get info snap. Junubin, are you talking about Junub? He's right on top of you. So this is what we call knowledge gaps, and it's what I've been trying to create for this specific course. This is so that it becomes easier for you to understand where we are and what concepts lie ahead. It's still a draft. I'm working to perfect it. So once done, I'll post it on my Soma Stories profile. So make sure you're also there and you're following me on Soma Stories. So that's it for the introduction. It has been a very long introduction. How many minutes? Almost 30. But I was trying to explain a point. I was also trying to show you guys that a lot goes into developing a platform. You see that mobile app, that story app you've downloaded. For you can just you might think it's just one platform, but it's not. A lot goes on in the background. If you unlock one story, the author has to get their share of the tokens. You also have to get the same tokens deducted from your account. It also has to be fast, and it has to be accurate. When you try to top up, it also has to be accurate and fast. A lot goes on behind the scenes. Building Soma Stories took me about 4 months to have something working, and I've been trying to build it slowly by slowly. So if we look at the GitHub repository for Soma Stories, I have 3 repositories. If we look at them here, repositories. So I have the Soma Web, which is the website. I have Soma Mobi, which is Python, whatever. I have Soma Mobile Client, which is the mobile version. I have Soma API, which is the API. I have Soma Admin, which handles the admin work. So development of a software does not end. So I'm still developing. I'm still fixing bugs. So if you go into something like the mobile client, the mobile app, source code, and you go into issues, we look at what issues are. As you can see, all these things need to be fixed. Out of Kenya payments, skeletal loading, author profile on Get Stories. All these things need to be fixed. So when you want to contribute to a project, this is the best place to come and see what you can fix. If If of course somebody did not ask you, hey, fix this, you can check them here, but you look at all that in a second. Anyway, down to business, why we're here. So how we are going to do this is I will do what you call a speed code, which basically means I will do a revision of what we've done so far in terms of using Git and GitHub. So on the computer I'm using, I have already, I don't think this microphone is positioned the way I want it. Okay. Perfect. So on this Windows computer, I have uninstalled Git. I've also deleted the SSH key thing we did last time. So I'm going to start afresh so that I can refresh your memory, because whatever it is you're going to do next is going to be heavy, you know. So I hope you have your notes. I have my notes here. This I didn't write this. Oh, yeah, I'm also teaching my wife data analysis, and I can see she was doing some notes here. Yeah, anyway, so let's get started. So number one, you need to confirm Git is installed. So I'll be a little bit fast for this section because we've already covered, so I'm just doing a revision. So let me just zoom in. Number one, I'll confirm if we have Git installed. So I'll just type Git. If you get this command, Git is not installed. So I'll go to my browser, to a new tab. I type Git. Oh no, not GitHub. I want Git. I'll type Git. I'll go to the first link. I'll click install on Windows. I'll click this setup thing here. Yeah, and it will download it. So I think I already have it downloaded, so I don't need to download it again. So it's I'll go to my downloads. So I'll go to my file manager. I'll go to downloads. So I'll go to my downloads. I'll look for the Git. Where is it? It's right here. So I'll double click on it to install. I'll check those. Next. Install. So we have it. So I've also created my GitHub account. So my account is here. If I go to my homepage right here, this is what I can see. Of course, this is an AI thing. You can do whatever you want with it. So for example, I can say write a Python function to add two numbers. I'll hit enter. Let's see if it's working. I've actually never used that AI whatever inside GitHub itself. Oh yeah, looks like it's working. Yeah, so this is the function to add two numbers. Not interested in that. So inside GitHub, you also need to know how to navigate. Right here is where you get to your home page. So if you are inside another page, for example, if I'm inside here and I want to get to my home page, I'll just click on that. Right here is where you get your your account information. For example, your repositories, issues, pull requests, discussions, code spaces. We'll look at all this as we continue. And then on the I said on the right. No, this is left. Sorry, this is left. Then on the right is where you get more info about your account, like for example, profile, repositories, star, GIST, organizations, settings. So we'll look at these in a second. So let's see if Git is installed. So once Git is installed, we can try again to see if it's installed. And now we are getting a different output. So this means Git is installed. You can even check the version. So you can do Git www version, and it shows you this is Git version 2.53. So Git is installed, fine. So what is the next thing we need to do? We need to create a project and initialize it with Git. So how do we do that? So here I'm going to create a directory, mkdir collab version 2. Hit enter. So I will cd into collab version 2. And then inside Colab version 2, I'm going to create a file, a Python file. So how do I create a file? I'll say echo, and then I'll say print, and then I say we're learning Git. We're learning Git. Now this will give me a headache. I don't want to deal with that kind of headache. We are learning Git. And then here I will do that. I will do this. And then I will say I want to save this file into main.py. I'll hit enter. So I'll do dir to check the contents of my directory. Volume in C drive, volume serial number is, what the heck is happening here? This is not the output I expected. Anyway, let me just clear. Now while inside here, we initialize our project with Git. So I'll say git init, enter. Of course, it tells me it has initialized an empty repository. Then I'll do git add. I'll do period to mean add everything. Full stop, I mean to add everything. And then I'll do git commit. I will say, and away we go. Okay, your commit has to be descriptive. So let's avoid this nonsense. Let's just say first commit. Okay, we hit enter. So we have our first commit. Now what we've done is we've created the first version of our code, but our code is not yet on GitHub. So you have to push our code to GitHub. So the first thing we need to do is we need to connect Git on our computer with GitHub. So how do we do that? We use SSH keys. Oh my goodness, I have forgotten the command to generate SSH keys. So let me try SSH keygen. I'll not specify anything else. I'll just say SSH keygen, hit enter. It tells me generating public and private key, put them inside here. I'll say okay. Put them inside there. I'll say okay, no passphrase. I'll say okay again. And yeah, our keys are generated. So we want to copy the public key, this one right here. Okay, so I'll just copy this up to this point. I don't think Windows has cut. No, it doesn't have cut. So let me just look for the key here. So I'll copy the path, which is right here. Oh, I users Mbadi, so that's easy to find. So I'll just go to local disk C, users Mbadi, SSH, and then my public key is right here. Like we said, never ever in your entire life give out your private key, which is this thing right here on top. Okay, let me just zoom in. This never give it to anybody else. So I'll copy this one. I'll right click, say open with notepad. I want to open it with notepad. Where is notepad? Notepad, young lady, what is wrong with you? Can you settle down? Settle down. Okay, so I'll say open. I'll copy my public key, and then I'll go to GitHub, settings. So I'll go to SSH and private keys. I'll go to SSH keys right here, new SSH key. I'll give it a title, Mbadi home, home desktop. This is supposed to be VM, not home desktop. So I'll do Mbadi virtual machine. Don't worry about that virtual machine thing. You can give it whatever name you want. And then I'll paste my public key. I will say add SSH key. I will verify. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go and verify. Gmail. So I need to go to my Gmail. Where is it? Where is it? Gmail. Okay, so I need this code right here. I'll copy that code, come here and paste it. Where? Here, paste it, verify. Oh, there's a space. Need to remove that space. Alright, so once it's verified, it shows that the SSH key has been added. So I will go to my home page, and I want to create a new repository. So I can do this, create new, and then I'll say new repository. So I will give our repository a name, Colab version 2, second Git second git demo. Everything else will remain the same. I'll say create repository, and then I will come and type all these commands, but here we will do something here. You'll see. So we've already run git init. We don't need to add our readme. We've already run git add. We've already run git commit, first commit, and now we copy this command, and then here now remember, as you type any git command, always make sure you are in your project directory, not any other directory. You'll mess your computer. Make sure you are in your project directory. Right now I'm inside Collab version 2, so I will type that command. Oh my goodness, what happened? Copy, go to the terminal. Okay, what is not happening here? I'm copying this thing. Copy, Control C, come to the terminal, paste it, not working. Git branch, okay, I can just type it out, but I'll need it for the preceding commands. I don't know why it's not working. So let me just close my terminal and open it again. I think it's misbehaving. CMD, I'll open it again. I'll zoom in. Now CD into our project. Let's try again. It's not working. Copy. Let me minimize this, and also minimize this. Oh no. Also minimize that. Oh, now it's working. Okay, I'll hit enter. So that is working. Okay, so we can do git branch to see which branch is. Oh, I'm supposed to do git branch, and then as you can see, we only have the main branch. So after the main branch, we now have to tell our local repository that we need to connect with this remote repository. So remote means the repository that you create on GitHub. But this is actually a problem. You see this thing right here? It's actually a problem because we've already added SSH to our GitHub. So we need to use SSH and not HTTP. Now remember, I said there are several ways computers communicate with each other. One is TCP. HTTPS is just form of TCP. We also have SSH, Bluetooth, and so on and so forth. So for our case, we want SSH. So I'll change this to SSH. Okay, and then I copy this command, and then I come here, I paste it. Oh my goodness, CLS, why is my copy paste not working? Copy, okay, paste, hit enter. That has worked. And then we copy this last command and we paste it, git push, fingers crossed. Yes, it's my SSH key. All right, so now we go to our GitHub and confirm that our changes are there. So we'll refresh here. No, Victor, it's not, you don't have to create it all the time. I was just trying to revise for those who maybe might have forgotten. Once you generate your SSH keys, they remain inside your SSH folder, so you don't need to generate again. I'll show you that in a second. So we have our file here, Python. We have our file main.py. Okay, so how do we contribute to this project? For example, I have asked my good friend Makwata or Victor Langat to make some changes and push their changes to my repository. So this here is my Windows computer, and the GitHub account is for Soma Stories KE. Now I want to contribute to this same project as Mbadi, not as Soma Stories. So I will open my Ubuntu, which is Linux. I will open my Ubuntu, which is a different operating system. So let me just minimize this so that you don't get lost. What is this? I'll minimize this. I'll also minimize this. So this is my Ubuntu computer, and I want to contribute to that project as Mbadi. So what do I need to do? Number one, I need to find the repository that I want to contribute to. So I will log into my Moses Mbadi GitHub account. So as you can see, this is now Moses Mbadi. It's not Soma Stories. this Soma Stories is the creator of the project. So after that, I will need to find the exact repository. So let me try to copy paste the repository. So I will go back to my Windows computer, and then I click on this thing here, and then I say HTTPS. I click copy, and then I minimize this. I go back to my Linux command, and then I paste that here. My Linux computer. I'm getting these things mixed up. So as you can see, we have the Collab project here, and it belongs to Soma Stories KE. But I want to contribute as Mbadi. Now pay close attention. This part is very important and very tricky. So what I will do, I will look for this fork thing here. You see this fork? I will look for it. As you can see, this is Soma Stories Collab version 2. So I will click on fork. And then it tells me if I want to change the name, blah, blah. I will say just keep it as it is. I will say create fork. Yeah, so what fork does, as you can see, it has changed from Soma Stories to Moses Mbadi. So what fork will do, it will take the original code and copy it. It will copy a repository to your own account. So right here, as you can see, it's telling me Moses Mbadi Collab version 2. And then it's also saying here forked from Soma Stories Collab. So if I right click this and open on a new tab, I can see the original project is still there. It's not touched, but I have a copy here. So this copy is what I'll be making my changes on. Okay, that's very important. This is where I'll be making my changes on. So what do? I'll come to this code here and say SSH and copy this, and then go to my Linux computer and say git clone. First, I'll make sure I'm in the right directory. So I'll do ls. I want to be inside desktop. And then inside desktop, no, I can just put it anywhere inside desktop. Okay, and then here I will say git clone. Pay attention to that command clone, git clone, and then I'll right click and copy my repository. Okay, and then I'll hit enter. So it's telling me that it's cloning into Collab version 2. Okay, so now I'm inside Collab version 2. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. Oh my goodness, why is my zoom not working? Why not zooming in? Okay, there we go. So on my Linux computer, I'm simulating another contributor, another developer, okay, making their own changes. So I want to make some changes to the code. And right here, I'm not going to use VS Code. I'm going to edit my code inside the terminal. Now, remember when I said as a software engineer, you should make the terminal your home? This is what I was talking about. So number one, I will need to cd into my project directory. So I will do cd collab version 2. Now I'm inside CD Collab version 2. So let me clear. Now inside here, let me edit the file that was already there, and I'm going to use another tool on the command line to edit that is available on Linux. So I'll say nano main.py. Now you see the code that was edited by Soma Stories. We want to change it. We want to add an if statement. We want to add a variable. So at the top, I will say name is John Wick. Okay, and then here I'll say if name is John Wick, I'll put that, and then I'll put space. I'll say print do not touch his dog. I'll put that. I will save my work. Okay, so what we've done so far, we've taken a copy of the original code, we've copied it to our own personal GitHub account. After that, we have taken that copy and cloned it locally on our computer. Okay, after we've cloned it, we've made some changes to the code. After making some changes to the code, what do? First and foremost, we do not do git init because that was already done by the owner. So here what you're going to do, you're just going to say git add, and then period to say add everything in this folder. We hit enter, and then you say git commit, and then I can give it a commit which is descriptive of what I've done. So I'll say add John Wick logic. Okay, and then I'll hit enter. So after I've done that, I want to push my changes to my own my copy of the repository. So see what happens when you do git push. When I do git push, it just goes, okay? It doesn't ask anything else. It just goes to whatever repository I've configured. Now, I will go to my repository on GitHub right here, and I'll refresh. So after I've refreshed, of course, nothing happens, okay? But if you, oh, I pushed to the main. I was not supposed to push to main. Oh my goodness. Can you forget everything I've said in the last 3 minutes? I was not supposed to push to main. As you can see, it's right here, but I was not supposed to push to main, okay? I was supposed to push to a different branch. So let's redo that. So in my, where is it? My goodness. Yeah, right here. So right here, let me clear. I'm going to create a totally different branch. So I'll say git branch. I'll do -b to say new branch, and then I'll give it a name. No, not like that. So I'll say backend Moses. Okay, I'll hit enter. What have I done? Okay, something. Oh, not git branch, git checkout. Oh my goodness, git checkout. Okay, so I'll do git checkout. Victor Langat will get to git pull. So I'll do git checkout, and then it tells me that I've switched into new branch backend Moses. So here I'm going to do git branch to see what is my active branch. And if I type, I can see this star with the green here. So this means this is my active branch, okay? So let's make some changes to our active branch. So I will also add another file. So I'll say nano, and then I'll say db.py, and then here I'll say print connected to database successfully. Oh my goodness, successful. Is that how we spell successful? I don't care. So we'll do that, and then we hit enter. This is supposed to be connected. We'll come to the end here, and then we save our file. Now the art of saving your file, you can do that in any code editor that you choose. So if I want to do it with Sublime Text, I will come and open Sublime Text. Where is it? I'll open Sublime Text. I'll say file, open folder. I'll go to my desktop. I'll say I want to open Colab version 2. Colab version 2 right here, open. And then as you can see, Colab version 2 already has a couple of files, main.py, db.py. So if you want to add something here, we can add school. We say Lodwar Mixed Primary School. Actually, an interesting story. When I went to Lodwar Mixed, Lodwar, there is a lot of heat, and the school had only one dormitory for boys, and it had a capacity of I think 20 students. So we couldn't all fit inside one dormitory because I think we were around 200 students. So what we used to do is you used to take your blanket. Okay, it wasn't a blanket. You cannot use a blanket there. It was like a bed sheet. So you take your bed sheet, you roll yourself inside, and then you sleep outside, just because it's sand soil, and sand soil is more like it's closer to a mattress. So you just sleep and voila, it's morning. You wake up, go take a shower, and your day continues. Interesting experience. I think I'll make a podcast about that. Anyway, back to the lesson. So whatever I've done here is the same thing I've been doing in the terminal. I've just been using the terminal. So let me go back to my Sublime Text and save my work. I'll say save. Okay, and go back to my terminal. And so after, if you make any changes, you have to create a version for your code. So we will do git add, and then we do git commit. We give our commit a message, add school. Okay, and then you say you hit enter, and then you do git push. Now do you see the patterns? Do you see the patterns? Pay attention to the patterns. And then you do git push, and then it tells me, hey, which branch are you trying to, push to? So I'll copy this. I'll come here, I'll paste it. Okay. Takes a few seconds, and voila. So our code now is on GitHub. So I'll go to GitHub. Where is it? I'll go to GitHub, and then I can see this thing here. It has appeared automatically. Okay. So I'll say compare and pull request. And then I can see here, I'm comparing the backend Moses on Moses Mbadi Collab version 2, and I'm pushing my changes to the main branch on Collab version 2 on the original code. Okay, this is very important to pay attention to. So once that is done, it will of course show me the changes I've done. So I've made these changes indicated by the plus. So if you delete something, it will show you here red with a minus. So it shows me the changes I've made. I'm okay with my changes. I'll come here and say create pull request, and then it confirms, checking whatever, blah blah, no conflicts, everything looks okay, and I think I'm done. So now whatever I've done is, as a developer, I've made my changes and I've submitted we called a pull request, which basically means I'm asking Soma Stories to review my changes, and if my changes are okay, Soma Stories should merge my changes to their changes. Okay, so on my changes, if I come to code, on my side, I'm supposed to be on my repo. So let me just go back to home, and then under where has it disappeared to? My goodness. Where is it? Collab. Where is Collab? Oh, I have written a lot of code. Oh, Collab version 2. It's right here. So on my project, if I shift to the branch I created, backend Moses, I can see that I have db.py and main.py. But on Soma Stories, let's just refresh and see. So on Soma Stories, we only see main.py, and there's no other branch. Okay, so backend Moses is not there. Young lady, can you settle down? Jesus. So I can see the branch is not yet here. Who is confused? I know you are confused. Just hang in there. So I can see this thing called pull request. So now here I am acting as Soma Stories. I'm not acting as Moses Mbadi. So I will go to my pull request tab, and right here I can see I have an open pull request. So I'll open it, and then inside I can see Moses Mbadi has made a few changes which have been indicated here. So I can click on one. I see the changes Moses Mbadi has done. I go back, and then I look at another change, and so on and so forth. So if I'm comfortable with the changes Moses Mbadi has done, I will just come here and say merge pull request, confirm merge pull request. Okay. So now our main branch, our source code, our main whatever, has all the changes Moses Mbadi has done. So if I come here, I can see there's db.py, and it was added 3 minutes ago. I can see there is add John Wick logic. It was added 8 minutes ago. So our repository is up to date. However, our local changes as Soma Stories is not updated. So if I open my project in VS Code, so let me just open VS Code. And I'll go to file, not that file. I'll go to file, I'll open folder. And then inside desktop, is it inside desktop? No, it's inside users, body, Collab version 2. I'll open it. So as you can see, our local changes, the changes we have on our laptop, they are very old. Okay, they are not updated. We do not have Moses Mbadi's changes. So how do we get Moses Mbadi's changes? To do that is very easy. We can just go to the terminal. And then inside the terminal, we can just type one command. I don't know where these flies came from. I'll do git pull. Okay. Once I do git pull, I will give it a few seconds. Blah, blah, blah. And then it tells us what has happened. So we added db.py and main.py had 4 addition. So as we can see here, the code has updated. So we have db.py. These are the changes I made on my Linux computer, including these, and also, where did I make these changes? I can't remember. Anyway, and also these changes. Okay, so yeah, so we've covered quite a lot so far, and if you're lost, you can just go and use the notes I made on the Soma Stories series. So if I go to Soma Stories books, so on your phone you can just access the books tab, and then I go to this one, and then I go to contributing to your project with Git. I can see all these commands. Okay, so of course I've given you a revision of what we've done, and now this is exactly what we've done. So locally on our computer, we've edited our files, we've added our files, we've committed our files, and then we pushed our files. Okay, and then on the main repository we did git pull. Okay, you can use git fetch, but you'll get to there, but for now just use git pull. Yeah, so we want to do another live demo, but with somebody else's account. Okay, so if you have Git installed, if you're feeling you want to do this challenge, I want you to go to Soma Stories KE collab. Let me just paste this link in the chats. Yes, so if you have Git installed, I would like you to do the same exact thing I've done. You can refer to this guide if you get stuck. Because I'm not logged in, so I cannot read the entire thing. You have to log in, guys. You have to log in. So I want somebody to get the repo, fork it to their own account, make some changes to the code. You can create any file, like for example classes.py, and then after you've made the changes, I want you to git commit, and then you pull, and then you open a PR to the main repository. Yeah, who's willing to do that? I have a lot of windows here. I think I need to close this. I think I need to not that one. I think I need to close which other one? This one. No, I don't want to save. All right. So as that is happening, I'll take any questions. If you're lost, if you're confused, just mention in the chat where you're confused, what is confusing you, and then we can have a look at whatever is confusing you. Yeah, I think I'll have to I won't upload this video to YouTube right away. I have just exposed my very secret, very private keys, and I know you guys, not all of you mean well. I know some of you will try to do some stuff. So I think I'll have to go back and edit it heavily. Let me see what exactly I exposed. I can't get it. I cannot get it. I don't know where it is. Anyway, I think I'll let you guys have some time for practice. Git and GitHub. So one thing you'll never be, like conventional computer science degree, business information technology. They don't emphasize on how it's important for you to understand Git and GitHub, or GitLab. Of course, we don't have GitHub only. We also have GitLab. They don't emphasize on how important it is, but in the real world, Git is like the core of contributing to projects. Whether you are working at Safaricom, whether you are working at Facebook, whether you are working at Soma Stories, you will need to contribute to projects. And for you to do that, you need to understand Git very well. You need to understand Git add, what are you adding, Git commit, give a very well give a descriptive commit message. You need to understand the concept of forking. This is the primary repository. Take a copy on your own account and then make the changes. Of course, there are other ways to contribute, which means I can get your GitHub account and then I add you directly to the project repo. But forking is the standard way of contributing, especially when you're contributing to what we call open source projects, which are projects, basically they are free and anybody can contribute to the development. The other thing that is very important is in tech or any science related field, if you don't practice, I don't want to use the word you die. it's not nice. If you don't practice, you don't move. You don't make any progress. Okay. So whatever it is we do in class, make sure you've practiced. You will get stuck. You'll feel frustrated. Your code is not running. You'll even follow whatever I'm doing word by word, click by click. But on your side, it doesn't come out exactly as it is on my end. And you might feel like giving up. I want you to know that is a trap. Don't give up. Do it again. Give it another try. So in tech, just know, if you don't practice, you don't move. You don't progress. Okay? Understanding theory, of course, watching the classes and whatnot is okay. It's fine to, try to connect the dots, identify the patterns, but always try to practice on your own. Like whatever I've done here with Git and GitHub, you can even find somebody on Discord. You create your own repository. One person creates the repository and another person tries to simulate that contribution bit of it. If you get stuck, you post in the help channel, or you try to fix it, on your own. You practice. Git is very important. In fact, moving forward, we will use Git a lot. We will build a project, save it on GitHub, make changes to it, save another version, make more changes, save another version, and so on and so forth. So do practice what we've learned so far. I think that's it for this session. This has been brief. We've gone for like an hour, which is pretty good. Now you have an hour to practice. Today is Saturday. So today I'm hoping you've clocked at least 7 hours or 6 hours. If you are at 4 hours, kindly, tomorrow is Sunday after church. If you go to church, if you don't go to church, then you have the entire day. Sit on that computer. Make sure you've understood everything you've learned this week. You've understood Git, you've understood GitHub, you've understood how to contribute to projects. That should be your end goal for this week. See you in the next class. If you get stuck, please post in the help channel. I have about 2 hours. I'll be looking in the help channel to see who's stuck so that I can help them out. If you need to have a one-on-one session, if I've explained something that is still not clicking, do reach out on Discord or on WhatsApp. Do give me a message. We can schedule a 30-minute session today after this class, so that we can go through whatever it is you are stuck on. And Yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you in the next session. Bye.